And that's why pickles are Satan. Oh, sorry, I drifted off there.
Okay, Dozan. It's safe. We got to get you out of here. No time for an upgrade screen. We're just going to go.
Oh, he is desperately marking that ninja.
Well, he did promise us one final upgrade.
Cheese it! It's the frogs!
Damn it! I was promised Imogen Heap when I died.
Whoa!
We can't just leave Dosan here. He deserves better than being left for the vultures.
Okay, it's an escort mission.
This is the first of several slow walking sections that we'll be seeing.
Dosan should be laid to rest at home, in the shrine. I'm ashamed that we must leave him out here. Alone.
I'm not dead yet!
You'll be stone dead in a moment.
Your trials are over, Dosan. I pray we're as brave when we stand before ours.
Remember me as a brilliant tattoo artist and a mediocre lover.
Can you feel the effects of the final mark?
Age killed my libido.
But the legends say that you'll move so quickly, it'll seem as if you vanished in thin air.
We'll be finding out what that last mark is in a little bit. It's kind of weird that this first puzzle doesn't make use of the mark, though. It's just a standard box puzzle.
That is a bit unusual.
This next one definitely does.
Look at that. We'll never get through there. Unless...
So this is the Mark of Serenity. It works a little bit like the throwable distraction items. We put a mark on the floor, and we can teleport.
Except your darts.
Oh,
That's enough to get
ninja vanish.
It's like a ninja flash step.
Those things will have a harder time following us if we split up. I'll meet you outside.
So now we're getting a proper introduction to the frogs. They're actually called stalkers. Now they're not immune to environmental kills, as we'll see in a minute here. But they cannot be stealth killed. You have to use the environment.
Interesting.
I mean, we don't have a sword anyway, so it's not like we could try to stealth kill them even if we wanted to. So, all the way back in the first video, I said that the AI of the regular enemies was deliberately dumbed down. This is why. The stalkers can pretty much go anywhere that you can. They can climb in vents, they can go onto grapple points. I mean, they have set patrol patterns where they're not investigating, but they pretty much have no mobility restrictions whatsoever. Plus, if you are within that green circle, you will instantly get detected.
So instant alert.
Yeah, basically the only thing you have that they don't is the Mark of Serenity. And, as you can see there, they can take shortcuts on staircases. So, for instance, if you want to lay a trap there, which would work on every other enemy running into that dynamite, doesn't work, because they could just jump down onto that staircase, and they don't run into the dynamite. These enemies are the elites. They're, I mean, I guess the easy comparison is to make it to the frogs, but I guess it's more like when in like the Splinter Cell games when Sam Fisher has to fight other Splinter Cells. Because the enemies are designed very similarly to you in terms of like how they move.
Well, that's cool how she takes the high ground. I mean, annoying, but cool.
Although the AI restriction was kind of weird there, because she got that particular stalker was surprised by a noise she made by that destructible grapple point.
I have failed, but I cannot surrender. This era does not belong to us. but we can take from it. I have seen today's soldiers and the weapons they use. With
Oops.
these tools, we could adapt, and we could survive.
Ninjas with guns.
And full body armor. Yeah, this is another fairly interesting level. I don't like it as much as the previous level that we saw, but it's still pretty fun. It's also the only level in the game where you're forced to use one costume. You cannot
So
play
you
this
can't
in
switch
arcade
it up.
mode. Yeah, you can't. In the when you replay this level, you can't use it with other costumes, and you have to play it with the Mark of Serenity. Although when you this is also the last costume that we unlock. It's called the Path of the Mark. When you use this costume, it basically works similar to Path of the Ninja, except that the Mark of Serenity replaces whatever distraction items you might use. Also, we just solved the puzzle there.
I have to assume
And
this
another
gets
one here.
used in speedruns.
Yes, in New Game Plus speedruns, yeah. Oh, whoops, hard cut. I might edit that out. It may not. Depends on how lazy I am. So that's another seal here is using environmental kills. Although surprisingly, that first stalker we killed doesn't count. You know, it's only on this map that the seal counts enemies. It also introduces you to several other different types of traps, as we'll see later.
We're coming for you. Come on, show yourself.
We got tools for days, boys. Come get some.
Someone is here.
Also, I don't think I've pointed this out before, but the layer, that sand layer, still moves when you're in focus mode. Just because I guess I couldn't figure out a way to make it stop in time. Also, I kept trying to lure over this riot shield guy, but when you're in focus mode, it keeps targeting the bell or the gong instead of the riot shield guy. It's very annoying. Eventually, I got him over here, though. There we go. Alright, so here's the other... First of all, we got a new distraction item. These chains. And there's also these retractable spikes. Oh, whoops, I forgot to cut that out. This episode is a train wreck. Such unprofessionalism.
We just got to get back in the groove, folks.
How will my reputation survive?
I hear something. Someone is here.
So there you go. That's another example of of using the traps there. Oh, I must have gotten the seal off screen. I think maybe the footage got corrupted or something. I definitely got the seal, as you'll see in the results screen.
We'll see it at the end of the level.
Yeah, that must have been one of the failed takes. It's kind of hard to line everything up because you can only see the seal completed things once. So here's another clever bit of level design with the Mark of Serenity. You have to dash over to the right and then sort of sneak yourself in there.
That's cool.
There's some pretty interesting puzzles with this. And then, of course, I'm an idiot and I think I've missed something, but nope. And really, the Mark of Serenity is the only real advantage you have against the stalkers. So, of course, this is a weight switch. You can weigh it down either with dynamite or with the body of a stalker.
Or in some cases, both.
Here's another beginner's trap where you can teleport out with Serenity. Nope, you can't teleport up there. And here's our challenge room.
Ooh.
And of course, since we only have one costume, this is a mini challenge area where there's like 3 separate challenge maps, areas like that. Well, looks like we can't really go through here. So there's these. Again, we have to use the weighted switches. We have the dynamite packs. So there's 3 little challenge room areas here. In fact, this is such a large challenge area that it's the only challenge room in the game that has checkpoints.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I think I leave one death in just to show off that it has checkpoints. Yep, so I die here. Yeah. But don't worry, it checkpointed you right here. Because this is a pretty cruel section. Because if you don't teleport exactly into those pots, you'll get cut down by the knives really quickly.
Yeah, they were pretty devious with this one.
So of course we're weighing down those switches with the dynamite packs. That was a little close. Now we got the last switch over here. This one's the easiest. There's 2 switches, one of which is protected by the spinning blade. That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm a total idiot and run into one of the dynamite packs. Thankfully, they respawn infinitely.
Yeah, it's nice that they didn't set up the puzzle where it'll soft lock you.
But I must call one last student to bear the mark. The man who should have replaced me must instead sacrifice himself for me. And for us all.
I mean, if you say so. Do I really get a choice in the matter?
That way.
Oh yeah, also, don't go down here. There's nothing really worth it, and you get killed pretty much instantly. The top path is slightly easier, but there's also stalkers patrolling. But it's not that hard to get through, if you know what you're doing. Just even having guards that can jump and navigate areas. I mean, when they're, they do have pretty set patrol paths when they're not investigating. Oh, also, I left this death in here because look, a stalker died off screen, and I'm not entirely sure how she died.
Huh.
You'll notice I got the indirect kill. Yeah, you can also chain together the Mark of Serenity with the grapple, just like any other item. You're really decisive there. Not entirely sure what that stalker was thinking.
Calculating.
Alright, now we're out of here.
So that's what his eye's up to. Lying to us, hiding his mistakes, and trying to make us more like those things.
Yeah, but we already know that.
Go back to your master and kill him.
Dun dun dun.
Thanks for stating the obvious, Aura. Oh yeah, the third scroll I got on a separate playthrough that I had to splice in, but I did get all of the scrolls in the end.
Excellent. That they really did put a lot of thought into the design on that level. Like it really does teach you how to use the mark to solve the puzzles, and it's really well done.
Yeah, and thankfully in the next video, our last video, we'll be seeing a lot more of the stalkers in more combat-friendly areas.